What's going on, everybody? You have Tone here, back with some more Draft League content. This week, bringing you guys NPL Minors Season 6, Week number 7, where this week we take on the San Antonio Sparce, coached by Will. His links and stuff will be in the description and all that good stuff. So, guys missed Week 6. Week 6, we took on King Clyde and the Inglewood Infernape, and we did end up losing that game 2-0. There was some unfortunate hacks with the Aerodactyl, but I still had a chance to win it with the Zoroark, so it's all well and good. So we are currently 2-4, minus 10 differential, taking on Will and his San Antonio Sparce, who's coming into this match with a record of 3-3. This is a conference game, so pretty important if you want to try to have a chance of making the playoffs at this point in the season with only 4 weeks left to go. So just to quickly run down my opponent's team of his team, it consists of the Mega Charizard X, Azumarill, Mamoswine, Lycanroc Dusk, Roserade, Mismagius, Galvantula, Umbreon, Tornadus, Mesprit, Steelix, and the Hitmontop, with his Z users being the Lycanroc and the Tornadus. So a very, very solid, well-rounded team. I do have a couple of things to worry about. The Charizard and the Azumarill can be very, very annoying if they are setup variants. Azumarill a bit less so. I do have a Toxapex in the back and a Tangrowth, but I still cannot discredit how big of an issue Belly Drum Azu can be if it does get the opportunity to set up, especially considering that he does have the tools on his team to get rid of my bulkier mons. He does have Roserade, Zardex, Saturn, which can dispose of my Tangrowth with relative ease, no problem. So I try my best to build a team where I did basically two things when building this team. The first was I'm disregarding the fact that Umbreon is coming in this game. Also, forgot to mention, quick changes I made to Baton Mash's team. I dropped the Slurpuff and the Metagross, and I picked up the Gardevoir, as you see on your screen in the top right, and Escavalier. So everything else remains the same. But basically, I built this team with two things in mind. He has a Galvantula, he can set up webs, but I'm going into this matchup not caring about webs whatsoever in this game, and you can pretty much tell already why with this Mew set. But basically, I don't really care much for webs because my strategy is revolving around the fact that my team is relatively slow anyway, and the only thing that's really affected by webs is this Mew and Blaziken. And I'll say why, and you'll see why I say that in a moment. But just to quickly run down the team I built for Will's team, first off is this Choice Scarf Mew, as you see here, with Zen Headbutt, Drain Punch, U-Turn, and Transform, with 240 HP, 152 in defense, and the rest into speed with a relaxed nature. So this is basically going to try to take advantage of the fact that if he tries to set up with his Mega Charizard X, I can take a Flare Blitz. I believe I can take a +1 Flare Blitz from Zardex. I can transform into the Charizard. And then because of my Choice Scarf, I will be faster. I'll copy his boost. I can retaliate with a Dragon Claw. And if he is Mamoswine, if any of his priority is weakened or gone, well, his priority is just Azumarill and Mamoswine. But if I get rid of those, I can just reverse sweep him with locking myself into Dragon Claw, since his resist is to Steelix and the Azumarill. I can also go for Flare Blitz and try to get some damage off that way. But basically, this Mew is designed to dissuade any potential setup between the Azu, the Zard, or stuff like Mismagius if he wants to Calm Mind up or anything along those lines with a Mesprit. So the speed is enough, I believe it's to outspeed the Mamoswine, like a potential Choice Scarf Mamoswine. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All I want to say regarding this Mew set. Just Some nice new way to catch him off guard if he decides to bring any potential setup sweepers in my face. Then next up is my Hippowdon with leftovers, Stealth Rock, Slack Off, Stone Edge, and Earthquake with max HP, 152 defense, 104 special defense. The HP and the defense is enough to take 2 Flare Blitzes from Zard X after rocks, with the rest thrown into special defense to take hits better from stuff like Mesprit. Earthquake is just nice for for most of his team in general. Doesn't appreciate Earthquake at all. And Stone Edge is there to prevent the tornadoes from just freely grass knotting in Hippowdon's face, and I can Stone Edge that if I have to. So nothing much else to say about Hippo. Just get up rocks, heal up if I need to, and just spam Stun Edge Earthquake whenever I can. Then next up is my Assault Vest Tangrowth with Regenerator, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Knockoff, and Ancient Power. I literally couldn't decide on the last move for Tangrowth because Ancient Power was literally just a throw on if I'm able to catch him going hard Charizard on my Tangrowth and thinking he can Mega for free, as I go for like a Giga Drain or a Knockoff, something along those lines. Ancient Power also helps in hitting the Torn. But this is pretty much my way of checking most of his special attackers, stuff like Mesprit. I can take a Bug Buzz from the Galvantula and Ancient Power that thing, knock off its item if I need to, go along those lines. Sludge Bomb for a potential poison on the Azumarill, and Giga Drain just for recovery, and just nearly max HP with some speed creep for uninvested Azu. Then we have a bulky Mega Aerodactyl with Roost, Stone Edge, Wing Attack, and Aqua Tail with max HP, 148 attack, 32 defense, and 80 in speed. The speed, I believe, is just enough for Miss Magus, and the reason why I undersped Lycanroc because in the situation of Lycanroc, if he brings the Lycanroc, he's either gonna, if he's Choice Scarf, he'll click Stone Edge, kill my Aerodactyl. If he's Choice Bandit or something like that, he would click Accelerock and Revenge kill my Aerodactyl. So it didn't really seem like the most ideal thing to try to outspeed something that can just pick you off with priority like the Lycanroc can. So I undersped the Lycanroc, and I'm only outspeeding the Miss Magus in this game, and I just threw max HP and the 32 defense. It pretty much lets me take any hit from a +1 Zardex barring Thunder Punch, and this is kind of an emergency check, I guess you could say, to Charizard X. But like I said, if he's +1 Thunder Punch, I only take the hit if I'm at full, if I recall correctly. So I have to be very, very careful about that. Stone Edge plus a Wing Attack hits his entire team pretty hard, and then Aqua Tail is there for the Mammal Swine. Get some huge damage off on that. So then next up is my Blaziken, which I'm bringing for the first time with Expert Belt, Blaze, Fire Blast, Super Power, Thunder Punch, and Vacuum Wave with 232 attack, 184 special attack, 92 speed with a Naughty Nature. The speed is enough to outspeed a Jolly Azumarill. So if the Azumarill is weakened enough, I can click Vacuum Wave before I can Aqua Jet my Blaziken, so that's pretty cool. The special attack investment is enough to guarantee knock out a max HP, max special defense Steelix with Fire Blast after rocks, or any way of breaking it sturdy. And the rest is thrown into attack to give it some power behind Super Power, and Thunder Punch just breaks the entire team down pretty doggone well. Again, I'm going off of the assumption that Will won't bring Umbreon in this game because I have a Keldeo, an Escavalier, and a Gardevoir, so I really don't see Umbreon coming in a matchup where it has 4 things it has to really worry about all the time, not to mention I could whittle it down with Toxic or anything of the sort, or I could bring Taunt and Mega Arrow to prevent it from going for Wish, all that stuff. And then lastly is my Gardevoir with Pixie Plate, Trick Room, Psyshock, Moonblast, Hidden Power, Ground. So this is pretty much the reason why I didn't really care much for webs that badly. I can with Mew I can transform. into my opponent's opposing mon, get the stat boost, and essentially get myself back to neutral speed. I have vacuum wave priority on my Blaziken. Aerodactyl is flying type, it flies, so it's not affected by webs. And Tangrowth and Hippowdon are slow already, so there was no point. And this just also does a good number to his team if I'm able to whittle down his bulkier mons. If I'm able to get up a Trick Room, I can just take advantage of his potential speed fact, his speed, and then I can also underspeed like stuff like a Azumarill with Tangrowth if I'm able to get Tangrowth in versus a Azumarill, something along those lines. But Side Shock, Moonblast just does a lot of damage. Hidden Power Ground is there for the Steelix. So that's going to be it for the team, and let's just move right on into the battle. Alright, so here is the match against Will, and as you can see, he decided to bring the Galvantula, Azumarill, Mamoswine, Tornadus, Mega Charizard X, and the Mismagius. I think I said Mismagius twice, but Tornadus Mismagius. So a couple of things to note: he didn't bring the Lycanroc, as I expected him not to. I did have a Hippo. But this is more or less what I expected. Again, no Umbreon. I really didn't expect that thing to come whatsoever in this game. And just from a potential, looking just from a team preview standpoint, it looks like I could potentially win with my Aerodactyl, actually, considering the fact that I can literally Stone Edge his entire team for free, as his Rock Resist is Mamoswine. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to lead off with my Aerodactyl, because if he leads off with the Galvantula, I can at the very least go for like a Stone Edge, and I can like scout. That's really scout, but I can potentially take a hit from Galvantula if it's Sash. If it's Life Orb, I die. That's pretty much the long and short of it. So I'm pretty much banking on the Galvantula being Sash lead with webs in this game. So I'm going to lead off with my Aerodactyl, as he actually leads off with his Tornadus, which is actually fine by me, because I get off a free Stone Edge here, as I want to Mega Evolve, click Stone Edge, Wing Attack, excuse me, sorry. Yeah, it's been a while since I played this game, so you'll have to forgive me for not remembering most of these plays. So I went for Wing Attack instead of Stone Edge, because he actually didn't bring a Flying Resist either. His Flying Resist is, well, at the very least, it's this. And the fact that I did 28 to this Azumarill gets me to believe that this is not a setup variant. This is easily like Perish Trapping, the Perish Trapping set. And that alone is actually very problematic, because what I actually I'm going to do here is I'm still going to go into my Tangrowth, as the fact that I see leftovers pretty much confirms that he is indeed the Perish Trapping set with Tangrowth. And this is kind of where I wish I stuck with my initial plan with my Tangrowth here, as I didn't initially want to be Assault Vest on this thing. I actually wanted to be Shed Shell to prevent the myself getting trapped by a Perish Trap Azumarill, because this is also the only thing I have on my team that could potentially take one. I could take a hit with my Hippowdon from Mamoswine from full, but I'd rather not. I wanted to keep the Hippo healthy for the Charizard. So this is kind of a very, very bad situation here. I'm trapped. I can't really do anything about that situation. So figuring I'm going to die in 3 turns here, as he's actually going to go for the Perish Song. I'm going to knock off his leftovers. He goes for the Perish Song here. This will help out in the mid game, as I prevent his passive recovery. He's going to go for Rest here, unfortunately. So the recovery that I mitigated is now gone. So I'm just going to go for Sludge Bomb, get some damage off on that thing, as he's Rest, Sleep Talk, Perish Song, Whirlpool. So I'm going to Perish next turn. So I'm going to click Ancient Power here, expecting to go into Charizard or the Torn, as I am going to catch the Torn with the Ancient Power, but you see I did 38. It comes on Mega Aerodactyl here as he goes out into the Charizard. This time I click Stone Edge, and I'm actually going to catch the Charizard in this game, as he decides to sack that thing off. So Charizard's being down is great. Of course, the only bad thing about the situation is the fact that my Mew The Muse that I brought here is absolutely worthless because the Charizard's down, the Azu is not Belly Drum or in the sense. So yeah, it sucks quite a bit in this situation. So now here he's gonna go out into his Mamoswine and thinking, okay, well, he could be Choice Scarf and go for Icicle Crash, do a big chunk of damage to me that way. But if he is Choice Scarf, he can knock me out in one hit because I am a bulky Mega Aerodactyl here, and this is the only potential rocker he brought on his team, so he could potentially be. I don't see him being Choice Scarf in this situation, so I'm just going to stay in, go for Aqua Tail, get some damage off, at the very least put it into range of my Blaziken's Vacuum Wave. So I'm just going to go for the Aqua Tail here, as I'm going to do 84, as he's actually just going to give up his rocks, fearing that I would fear the Choice Scarf. So now he's going to go for Ice Shard, do over half to my Aerodactyl, revealing he's Life Orb, and I'm going to go for Wing Attack and knock this thing out. So now he goes out into his Azumarill, as he is going to Sleep Talk and unfortunately get Rest. So now I'm going to go for Wing Attack to guarantee get the kill on this Azumarill, as I didn't want to risk Stone Edge missing. And I got a pretty good roll with the first Wing Attack I went for on this thing. So in comes the Mismagius, as I'm going to live the Shadow Ball from this Mismagius, as I'm going to knock it out with the next Wing Attack. In comes the Tornadus, down goes that to the Wing Attack, and all he has left is this Galvantula, which I'm just going to go for Wing Attack just to get some damage off, as he's actually going to reveal the Agility. So instead of letting my Aerodactyl go down here, I'm just going to go out into my Hippowdon here just to save an extra point of differential here, as this Galvantula can't knock me out in one hit. As he goes for the Bug Buzz, I'm going to slack off here. I should have just killed it with Earthquake. There was absolutely no way that that Energy Ball would have killed me at that point. And yeah, so Galvantula's going to die to Sand, and we're going to pick up a 5-0 win over Will and his San Antonio Sparce. So yeah, I really wasn't expecting the Mega Aerodactyl to put in as much work as it did in this game. Especially considering the role it was supposed to do did not come to pass, considering he sacked off the Charizard and on top of that, this Mega Aerodactyl got 5 kills, which is again something I wasn't expecting to try to do with my Aerodactyl. I was trying to win in the end game with my Trick Room Gardevoir, but that ended up not happening at all. So kind of sucked that my Gardevoir didn't really work or see the field at that point, but hey, it is what it is. We take the win in this case. So yeah, nice 5-0 win, nice comeback from week 6, so can't really complain about that. GG to Will. I know he said afterwards that he struggled, his team struggled a bit with Mega Aerodactyl. I think there was sorry about that. There were a couple of situations where I did benefit a little bit, considering that afterwards he did say that I got like a lot of high rolls with my Mega Aerodactyl and whatnot. But again, there are just things that you just can't control, and one of those things just happens to be damage rolls. And luckily for me, I got the high roll in those situations, and yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. Not trying to be a jerk or anything, but there's just some things that you can't control. This is one of those things, and we come out on top of the 5-0 win. So nonetheless, I prefer to win it this way, considering that there was absolutely no hacks, so that was also pretty fun. So yeah, so we moved to 3-4 -5. We're still very much in the playoff chase. So next week, week 8, we take on the New Britain Rockruff, coached by Dietite. This will be looking to be another fun match. So that's going to be it from me. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until the next time, this is Tone, signing out for now. Peace out.